We're here on the Edmund Pettus Bridge with State Attorney Marilyn Mosby from Baltimore City. What brings you to Selma today on this 57th anniversary?
It was incredibly important for me to be here. The symbolism, the 57th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, the sacrifices, the tears, the blood of my ancestors that was spilled for voting rights, and I mean, oddly enough, we're still fighting for it. 57 years later.
How does that motivate you in your work as you work for the people?
So, I mean, I'm going through something right now in my life where they're attempting to suppress the voters, the people who elected me in office. You know, I stand unapologetically for people of color in this country who are disproportionately impacted by the criminal justice system. And when you come and you challenge the status quo, keep the status quo come for you. And so I'm here because it's symbolic for me to be here and understand what my ancestors have gone through and the shoulders that I stand on and the position that I'm in is a direct sort of connection to what happened here 57 years ago.
And it's also a connection in the sense that what a lot of people don't know, that this was originally a Black Lives Matter march. It was about the death of Jimmy Lee Jackson, the march in Selma. And is it conceivable, it's a rhetorical question obviously, that some of the issues and the struggles you're dealing with are the results of the work you've been doing to hold police accountable?
Absolutely. I mean, I was one of the first prosecutors in the country to attempt to hold police officers accountable for the death of a Black man. An innocent 25-year-old who merely made eye contact with police in a high-crime neighborhood and decided to run, unconstitutionally arrested, placed into a metal wagon, head first, feet shackled and handcuffed, and after his spine was partially severed in the back of that wagon, his pleas for medical attention were ignored. Right? And so I get it. That accountability wasn't being had in this country, but that accountability led to exposure. A week after I charged those officers, the Department of Justice came in, exposed the discriminatory policing practices of the 8th largest police department in the country. That exposure ultimately led to reform, right? We have a federally enforceable consent decree, and because of that reform, we have a spotlight on the entrenched police corruption of one of the largest police agencies in the country. And so although those individual officers weren't held individually and criminally responsible, every single police officer is being held accountable for the actions of a few. We have a use of force and de-escalation policy that emphasizes the sanctity of life. There's an affirmative obligation for fellow officers when they cross the line for them to come in and intervene, right? We're talking about these police reform. We had, before those charges, we didn't even have full implementation of body-worn cameras. We now do. And so there are so many things that, you know, we still have to change in this country when it comes to police accountability. Like, police shouldn't be investigating themselves. But I can say that, you know, it's a direct, what I'm going through right now is directly correlated to what I did 7 years ago.
And that's why you're under attack. Folks, we fought to have Black prosecutors and have Black prosecutors like this one. And we have to make sure that our prosecutors aren't persecuted for being righteous Black prosecutors. So I know a lot of people support you, and we're going to continue to encourage people to do that. So thank you for being here in Selma.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for making the trip on sacred ground here on the Edmund Pettus Bridge.